useful for you. Okay, now, okay, let's discuss about super keyword. Okay, com dot demo dot super. So this is what we wanted to discuss now. Invalid package name, because we are using with the keywords, right? Okay, now what I will try to use, then I'll try to use a class over here. Class name, I'll be okay. I wanted to create the class, right? So first I'll create a parent class. Okay, PARNT, parent underscore class, and I'll say that okay, done. Now what I'll try to create, I'll do a child class. Now I'll create a child underscore class. Okay, and I'll do a runner class. Means runner class is nothing but from there I'll be trying to run that particular class. Okay, now I created 3 classes. Simple, everyone knows this, what you are trying to do, boss. Now I'll go to the parent class. What I'll try to do, I'll try to create a constructor for this particular parent class. Okay, now public hey, come on, I think I have been added. Okay, now what I'll try to do, SYSO, I'll be writing that I am in parent. I'm nothing doing, so I'm just creating a class. I'm in a class I created. I am in the parent class, so I have been written this one. So now I'll be copying the same thing. I save this one, go to the child class. Can I paste this one? Can I do this?
No. You have to extend.
Huh? Can I copy this method? See, this is a constructor which I have been used. So if I with the constructor means the constructor name
Same as the
class name, so that would be not possible, or else I need to define it as a public static void, and then as a method I can define it with a name, another name. Okay, now what I wanted to do, I'll say that this is my child method, child class. Okay, now what I'll try to do, I'll go to the class B. Now what I'll try to do, B obj equal to new obj. Sorry, new B. What it will do? What will happen? What it will be happen?
Runner class name change.
Creating object.
What it if I execute this one, will it execute me anything?
No. Class not
No,
found.
sir.
Class. Now we are not creating a B class.
We have to call the methods.
Or create.
There's no class B.
I didn't understand what you guys are saying here. So why means if it is there is no class B here, what it will
Yes.
happen? If I
Class
wanted
It is
not
a
to,
found
compile term
exception.
error.
Runner.
oh, I'm sorry. I need to do. Sorry, I did a mistake. I was thinking something else, and I was trying to do. Now, what it will happen now?
Creates an object of
Create an object for
Object
child
on a
class.
child class.
What is the output of this?
The child.
Okay, I'll come one by one. So, Samar, what is the output of this particular execution?
We can call that class the child class one. We created the object, so we can call that class, so that only it will get the output like a child class, whatever we written in child class.
What we are trying to call. So, okay, why we create the object, Samar?
Because this is the different class, so we have to call one class to another class, so that we can create an object, then we can call that.
When I try to extend the child class with the parent class. Okay, now if I execute this particular program, what it will print me? Yash, what it will print me now?
Can you just go to parent class?
So this is what my parent class.
Yeah.
This is my parent class. This is my child class. And this is what my runner class. In runner class, I created an object for the child class. And then I'm trying to call this particular created two objects. I try to execute over here. Now, what is the output which I'll be getting over here?
Same.
Same output.
Anyone else? Any other answers?
Same output. I'm in child class and I'm in child class parameters Java.
Apart from this one, Sneha, any other outputs you are expecting?
No, sir, we didn't get.
See, what is the problem is, if you guys has been practiced in earlier, you'll be definitely saying this one. By this, I can see that there is a lack of practice and implementation part, guys. When you have been really learned in the constructors and constructor overloading, and then inheritance we have been discussed. In inheritance, if you have been done, easily you will be understanding this one. Okay, let's see what is the output of this one. What it happened? It printed the parent class. Now what it happened internally is, now this is a child class, right? And this is a child class. Now, whenever as it is extended by the parent class, always parent class constructors will be called by default. So here you will be having a method called super method. So now we will give this particular super method. What is this particular super method will do is, whenever you are calling the child class constructors, it will call the parent class default constructors. See, now what it happened now, even though if I given this program and then run, the output will not be changed, because either I can define the super keyword, or if I don't define the super keyword, so by default it will call the parent class constructor and then it will try to print it over here. And now hope this is we got the clarity on this one, right? So any questions on this? So now when I'm trying to run this one in this particular run, so when I was having the new child class with this particular parameter, when I'm trying to execute this, so both the constructors will call the parent class constructor, right? So that's a super. Either I can define it, or if I don't define it, it will try to call this one. So now what I'll try to do, I'll define another constructor over here. Okay, so what I'll try to do, I'll do the same thing here. Okay, now if for this one, if I call this one, what is the default constructor? I'll be getting it when I execute the parent class object. So now I'll do this thing. Not, and if I have this one, so now parent class obj to equal to parent class. If I execute this one, what it will print for me?
Parent class.
Only parent. Okay.
So I'm in the parent class. Now, what when will I have the super keyword here? If I use a super keyword, what it will print me? What is a super class for this parent class?
No,
It does not have.
Huh?
no parent class. No, sorry. No super keyword.
For any class, which you have been created, any class you have been created, so it will have object, extends object class. So this is what the basic class for anything, any class in Java. So now if you go for this object, now it might have a lot of things. So I'll just see. Now this is a basic class. That's where when you created an object or anything, you'll get the get class, get hash code. Thanks, Amar. Get hash code. get equal means equal to clone to string notify all. So whenever you are creating an object for any other classes, so that object will have all these things. See, for an example, go to the runner class obj. So now I defined it dot. See, now is this classes I have been defined in the parent class? In this particular parent class, do you have it? Okay, I'll remove
No.
this one now. So now if you see here, see, I created the object for the parent class in the runner. So now I'll be seeing these all methods. Where I defined these methods, I didn't define anywhere. But how it was, how I'm able to get these all methods here. So this is what which we were seeing is,
Default.
so we do have a default object class. This is a super class for all. This is a super class for any class. If you define or not define, it doesn't matter. The object is a super class. And from this, we will be having extended with the multiple methods over here in with the for the parent, not only any class you define in Java. You define any class in Java, for that particular class, you'll be having object. Now, when I added the super keyword in front of this one, what is the output of this one? What is the output now you're getting over here?
I am in a parent class.
I'm in the parent class. That's it. There is no difference, because so the object class, even though means it have the method, that's where I have been shown it, right? So that's have the default constructor. In this particular constructor, we don't have any particular things. So as it is a default constructor, it is not printing anything. If you changed into that, definitely it might be printing for us. So now, as of now, if you see here, when I call the parent class, it was printing me this. Now, when I try to call these particular classes, what it was trying to do, it was trying to print whatever the constructor line means was there. So when I call the first thing, so it will first means when I'm trying to call this constructor, by default it was going to the parent class, and then it was calling me this. And then the constructor which it was there, it was trying to execute it. Now, when I was trying to go for the child class with the parameter, by default it will go for the parent class, and in the parent class it will try to execute this particular constructor. So now this is what it was executing. But now if I wanted to see this, now I have another thing. Now I do have another thing called I'll say that string class name. Okay, so I'll say that parent class parameter, and here the class name I have been given it. Okay, Control A, Control Shift F. So now I have defined. I'll remove this object because as of now it is not required. So, but remember that always it extends the object class. Object class. Now you tell me here, I have the parent class, and this is a overloaded constructor which we have been used it. Now I'll just save this one and come to the child class. Now I try to run this one. When I try to run this, see the output has been changed. Still it was coming with the same output. I need to call, see now what I need to call is, in this particular parent class, in this particular child class, I need to have this particular parent class. And in this child class, I need to have the parameter, so which my parameter class has to come. So at that time, how I need to do it? So what I need to do for this one is, so I need to come here. I'll be using a super keyword. And for this particular super keyword, I'll be passing with the name. Then it will understand that, oh, this is a default constructor which I need to call. And here I need to call the parameterized constructor. So now if you see here, then try to click on this. See, now I'm in parent class, I'm in child class. So when I try to run this program, when I'm trying to create this particular object, I'm in a parent class, I'm in a child class. See, we are calling only the child class constructor, but the child class, before coming the child class constructor, it was calling the parent class constructor, it was executing that one. And now when it comes to the child class constructor with a parameter, so now it will go to here, and here we are calling the super with this particular name. So we are saying that go to the parent class. In the parent class, see, now as soon as I click with that one, it was pointing to this parent class with the parameter string. So go to that one and call this. So now here we don't want the super, because this is an object class for this one. See, now from the child class super, if I have been given, it was coming to this. From the child class, this constructor, I'm coming to this, because based upon the super parameter, I'm trying to go to the respective constructor of the parent classes. So now in the runner class, when I created this particular object reference, first the child means when I have this constructor, it will goes to this particular constructor, and from this constructor, first it will go to this particular super keyword. First this will execute, and then comes, and then this will be execute. That is what the object reference creation has been done. And now the second time when I was trying to call this one, this child class will go to this particular child constructor, and this child constructor, first it is calling the super, so it will go here. So first it prints this, and then it will be coming here, and then it will be trying to print this. So now if you can do what the thing you can do is you can keep a debugger pointer, and you can run it in the debugging mode. You can see how this will be traverse from one place to another place, so you can easily see on this one. So now when you are trying to see on this, now I wanted to go for F5. So okay, F6, it went into that particular class loaders.
You need to all the variable points, Chris, here.
Yes,
Step
I
by step.
did it. It's messed up for this. So that is how. So I told you, right? So this is how the execution will happen for this one, and then you can see it. So even you can keep a debugger pointer, and then go for that particular step in, step over, and step into. So here, just go into the step into, go to the child class. In the child class, you can go here and then goes to the super and see how these things will be printed out. Am I clear with this super keyword?
Yes, Chris. Chris,
Chris,
one question.
yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
If we don't use a super keyword in the default child class without the parameter, what will happen?
Nothing. See, now if I comment both the things,
No, only one, like, only on the without parameter.
see, now if you wanted to remove this parameter, what it will do, it will go to the default this parameter, and then it will execute. This is what we first executed, right? Runner, if I execute this one, it will say that I'm in parent class, I'm in parent class.
Okay.
Either you define the super keyword, or if you don't define the super keyword, by default it will call. That's it. It will not wait for us to call for this one. So by default it will call the parent class constructor, and then it will start doing the execution for this.
Yeah, like my question was on line number 6. Is it necessary for us to write the super keyword there?
See that I commented the line code, right? So
Yeah,
that means it is
now I
required
got
or
it.
not required. Okay. So whether you define it or not define it, by default it will take that particular parameter. Means it will, by default it will call the super constructor. Got it?
Okay. Yeah.
Any other questions, guys?
Chris, only one thing. That for console first line, right? I'm in parent class. That I want to repeat one time, only one time. That first line alone.
Just 1 second.
Yeah, okay.